guys, I am here today with this. This is the 2023 Toyota Corolla Cross Hybrid, and it may just be the best hybrid SUV under 30 grand. Let's get into it. Okay, if you're in the market for a new car right now, you don't need to hear me say that things are expensive, but oh my gosh, they're crazy, right? But the Toyota Corolla has always been a real bargain. And so when they came out with this Toyota Corolla Cross, I was like, is this really gonna be a thing? Or are they gonna give us something that has a great bang for the buck? Turns out it may just be bargain. So most of us look at a Toyota Corolla when we're thinking of something sensible and reliable. And I can tell you that from firsthand experience, I definitely had that. So my sister's first car was a Toyota Corolla, and she passed it down to me, so it became my de facto first car, and it went forever, and you could never kill that thing, and we definitely got over 200,000 miles in it. It was great. So under the hood, we've got a 2-liter 4-cylinder engine with 3 electric motors, which is actually kind of cool because, you know, Toyota has been making hybrid vehicles. P.S. This is not a plug-in hybrid, this is just a regular hybrid. They've been making hybrid vehicles for a very long time, and you know, they've gotten pretty good at it. Maybe you've heard of its cousin, the Prius. It does pretty well. But Toyota's engineers have worked out the drivetrain with this so that it does interesting things. For example, when it stays under 20 miles per hour, it only operates by the rear electric motor. So it doesn't use the ICE engine at all, which is kind of interesting. You can put this thing in EV mode. You can also put it in sport mode. You can just keep it in the regular drive mode. So when I saw that this car was coming for me to drive a little bit, I looked at the numbers and they weren't impressive. So this engine is producing 196 horsepower and 136 foot-pound of torque, and it makes it from 0 to 60 in under 8 seconds. But listen, I know that sounds boring and possibly horrible, but it really isn't. Let me tell you why. Okay, so let me tell you why these numbers actually make sense and why the drive is surprisingly great in this thing. So one of the reasons is because it's got the CVT transmission, right? So people either love or hate that thing because, you know, while it's solid and it will last forever, they used to be really, really inefficient and a little bit clunky and people didn't like them. But again, this is the kind of thing that Toyota's been doing for a really long time, and they've gotten really good at this. So while, like, you'll never smoke anybody from at a stoplight, once you get rolling in this thing, it is really fun, zippy, and responsive. It's actually kind of fun to drive. Okay, so some of the standard features you'll be interested in the hybrid version of the Corolla Cross is 18-inch wheels, which is great. We've got this elevated ride height and sort of this, you know, protective stuff around the wheel wells. But listen, like, this thing is not an off-road vehicle. Like, this is about as off-road as you should truly get in the Corolla Cross. It doesn't really have a lot of protection underneath the vehicle, but that elevated ride height is certainly great for helping you to load and unload stuff, and it helps with visibility as well. Other features I loved about this car is cup holders. We've got 2 here. We've got big ones in the doors as well as the doors of the back seats for water bottles and stuff like that. We've got, like I said, the wireless charging pad for your device, as well as 4 USB plugs. There's also like one of those 12-volt connections in here. This thing is pretty small, so there aren't a lot of places to put your stuff, but that's okay. This really isn't, you know, you're not expected to put a lot of gear in a car like this. Okay guys, so this is not a luxurious back seat. Brace yourself. But listen, like, if you got little kids, they're gonna be fine. Don't worry about it. We've got a cup holder in the door. It's got a little bit of a handle here. Obviously you can control the window. It's got rear vents that are pretty tiny. You can only control the open and shut with these. You can't control the heat or cooling or anything. And again, there are USBs down there. We've got tethers for a car seat if you should need those, and this armrest in the middle. Again, there is a 3rd seat here, but like, that better be a little kid because it's just tiny. 3rd seat with some cup holders again, which, you know, is fine. But I mean, one thing to think about, if you're a parent, you can put a lot of weight on this and break it because it doesn't hit the ground. Just remember that. Okay guys, so the back end, we've got a powered liftgate, which is great. And again, it's got the button here that you can shut it and lock the vehicle at the same time. This trim has these standard rubber mats, which I just think are the greatest things, particularly if you're carting a lot of groceries. It's also got a cover back here for, you know, precious items or whatever, or if you just don't want the sun on them. Listen, no, it's not an enormous trunk, but it truly is enough to go to Costco for a family of four, like, relax, you're gonna be fine. One thing that I think is really cool is they did put a little tray here, which you're like, why does that matter? I don't know. Where does your phone go when you're taking groceries out of the back of your car? I swear to God, like the number of times that I put on the bumper or on the top of the car or been like, where's my phone? Many, many times. So it's kind of nice they put a little phone holder back here for when you're loading and unloading cargo. Okay, so again, this is a hybrid vehicle and not a plug-in hybrid at that. So Toyota is reporting a combined 45 mpg, and a lot of time when they report that, it's like what you really get is, you know, 30 something. But to be honest with you, I hovered right around 42 the whole time driving this. I've been driving this for a week and I've gone up insane hills, down in traffic, freeway, the whole thing. So at 45 miles to the gallon, this thing is really, really efficient. Okay, so the cons, why wouldn't get this car? Because, you know, if you want all these features, the price goes up. Like this one, as shown, is about $35,000. There are certainly features in here that you don't need, but again, if you're thinking about your budget, you have to be conscious of that stuff. Second, no, it's not a blast to drive, but it can be fun to drive. It's just not always going to be like a Porsche killer, and that's fine. Also, and if you're sensitive to this, the engine noises are pretty anemic. Like there are times that it makes engine noises and you're just sort of like, oh, it's a little embarrassing, but like, who cares, right? Also, the interior is not luxurious. I would say it's more sporty than anything, and that's perfectly fine. This is not a luxury car and it's not pretending to be, and I kind of respect that, to be honest. So who should buy a Toyota Corolla Cross hybrid? Listen, I think it's great for someone with a young family because it's certainly safe and substantial. And I also think this is one of those vehicles, a lot of you ask me this all the time, is, you know, what should I buy my kid for a first car? And if you're a child that's lucky enough to have a parent who's buying you a new car, lucky you. But anyway, I do think this is one of those vehicles because first of all, it's got great convenience, great safety, and it is powerful enough for them to drive well, but not so overpowered that they're going to get themselves in trouble. And plus it's really, really durable, really reliable. Again, they could pass this down through the whole family. Toyota Corolla Cross is a good choice for your teen driver. If you guys are wondering who I am, or you're like, why should I listen to this woman? I'm Motorhead Mama, aka Amelia Dalgard. I'm a lifelong automotive enthusiast, and I've been writing about cars since 2011 when I started an anonymous blog, and it just kind of took off. So because so many of you send me texts and emails asking for automotive advice, I started this YouTube channel so I could give my honest opinion about fancy cars, not so fancy cars, and everything in between. And I hope you found this useful. And if you did or didn't, just let me know in the comments. And I would love if you'd press that subscribe button. Thanks. So there you have it, the 2023 Toyota Corolla Cross Hybrid. Listen, for a hybrid SUV that starts under $30,000, this is an extraordinary value. If any of you have one, I would love to hear your comments at the bottom to see if you love it or you hate it, or if you test driven one. What do you think? I'm Motorhead Mama. I really appreciate you watching, and I'll see you next time. Hi, doggy. Hey, sweetie. Is your mommy taking you for a walk? Oh, she's not gonna hurt you, boo-boo. Yeah, you're a very sweet dog. I just don't want you to choke yourself on your little